Hello and welcome or welcome back to my Dandelion Diaries. Today I wanted to share a completed flip through of the ink journal that I have been using since May of 2023. I officially completed this back in July of 2024, so almost a whole year's worth of inks. But I just want to do a flip through of it because this is the original Tomoe River paper and it showcased all of the shading and the sheen and all of the ink properties so well. Plus, it's just kind of like a recap of all of the ink explorations that I did in 2023 and some of the ones that I started in 2024 as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the notebook and then we'll start flipping through some pages. So this notebook is an A5 Hobonichi notebook with the 𝗬𝗎𝗄𝗧 cover that is by, oh my gosh, 𝗬𝗎𝗄𝗧 Makino. It's on the back. They still have these notebooks on the Hobonichi site, I believe. It is probably not the original Tomoe paper anymore though. So for the opening cover here, I just stuck down a sticker from Goulet Pens and then wrote down a little thing about inks, a story told through colors, sheen, shimmer, and shade, which if you are new to my channel, I am a huge lover of fountain pen inks. Hence why I have a notebook full of swatches, but I just really love to document everything I can when it comes to ink swatching because it's really fun for me. I started off the book with an index that I honestly just gave up using. This notebook is not numbered by pages, so I just got tired of numbering the pages myself. And then I started using it for my May 2023 currently inked. I really liked this format and I may go back to it at some point, but I liked having like the swatches with the pens and then the review of like how I felt about each one of the pairings. And this is nice to look back on for me because I 100% remember the feel of the TWSBI Glow Purple with the Diatramentus Alexander Hamilton, and I would 1000% re-ink that together and keep it paired for life because I enjoyed it so much. And then I mean, the rest of these were pretty decent. The TWSBI Eco Persian Green with the Robert Oster River Fire was another really great one. And then at the end of May, I would try to do an inventory of like my number of pens, number of inks, bottles, samples, etc. And I think I did this only for May and I never continued it after, and have since decided to move more into a yearly inventory process just because my numbers fluctuate so much month to month that I don't like keeping track of it is a little bit more tedious than I care for. So I'd rather just keep on a yearly basis because I go through inks or I, get new ones or whatever. And then this was the first ink exploration I did. This was all about black inks. Definitely think there's some winners on this page. I loved Troublemaker's Polar Lights. I thought it was so much fun with the different kind of purpley green shimmer and the black background. And same with this shimmery black by Ferris Press, Atlas Iron Ore, which was an Atlas Stationers exclusive. And then classic Platinum Namiki Black, I think is my favorite black. And second favorite is probably the Pilot Iroshizuku Takesumi because they're not super sheeny. Like, I guess when I'm reaching for an everyday black ink, I don't want it to be sheeny. And then if I do have a black ink that I want fun, I want it to have shimmer in it, I guess, over sheen. I don't know. I'm kind of funny when it comes to black inks because it either has to be really plain or really fantastic. Then I did my gray ink exploration and this was really fun. I love how there's so many different shades when it comes to gray. Like there is no just like gray, like, right, like there's so many different shades that come from the color. Diamine Earl Grey is a really great one. I love the different kind of purpley tones that it has. And then I don't think you can go wrong with Kirasame or Fuyu Shogun by Pilot Iroshizuku. Sadly, Kirasame is being discontinued, so go ahead and grab a bottle if you can find one before it is gone forever. I think this is going to be what happened, like the same kind of scenario that what happened with Pilot Iroshizuku's Inaho, because I feel like Kirasame is such a great warm gray. But I understand, they probably don't have the facility or the ingredients to make that ink anymore or something like that. Then I went ahead and did the full Sailor Manyo line. At the time, there have been additions to this line since I made this original swatch page, and I have been tempted to kind of re-swatch all of them together, but there's something so nice and simple about just like this one little page of Sailor Manyo inks. There's so many beautiful ones too. I feel like 𝗵𝘃𝗍𝗍 is really good, 𝗬𝗏𝗏 is really good, 𝗬𝗵P穂𝗏 is really good. 𝗏𝗏 is really pretty, but it's a little too light for me. If I were to go for one of their lighter blues, I really like 𝗃𝗃𝗍. And 𝗬𝗃𝗍 is just chef's kiss when it comes to like teal with red sheen. It's so beautiful. And then 𝗦𝘂𝗃𝗃 is a gorgeous, gorgeous kind of blurple that has these little bits of shading of purple popping through, shading of pink popping through. It's really, really pretty. Then I did my June currently inked. Oh, okay. This was, I think, when I started theming my ink explorations. I don't think I did it for May. Yeah. So I started using different themes that I wanted to go with because I was really enjoying, I guess, color palettes that had a theme to them. I don't know. So I used this little ink bottle stamp, and then I would theme my colors based on either the ink names, the ink colors themselves, or the brands. And I think Desert Summer is a really good color palette for this because we have like some darker greens, browns, reds, yellows, and then blue for like a bright blue sky. I'm losing my voice, by the way, if y'all didn't notice in this video, so I'm so sorry. I'm trying to work with it as best I can, but this was definitely a really fun time. My number 7. Okay, so this one I ranked differently, where I did 7 was the best, 1 was the worst, and 7 of 7 was my Kaweco Sport with the Atlas iron ore. That was really, really nice. I had a broad nib. It was so much fun. And then, yeah, so I started to do my ink inventory at the end of June, and then I just stopped. I just wrote down number of pens, which has definitely doubled in a year now. Wow, that's pretty wild. And then I did my blue blacks. Honestly, I feel like some of these aren't even blue black anymore. Roaring Cleaner's Verdigris is definitely more of like a teal black. And then I think Sailor Manyo's 𝗂𝗃𝗍𝗏 𝗦𝘃𝗽𝗍 is a little too purple maybe to be in this category now. But yeah, I would say Pilot Roshizuku's Shinkai is probably one of my favorite, and then Daimai's Silent Night is another really good one. Aurora Blue Black you can't go wrong with, and Diatramenta's Black Blue you can't go wrong with either. I think all of those are really great. Then I did Standard or Bright Blues. So many lovely ones here. I feel like Red Sheen is just a companion when it comes to bright blue inks. Then we did Light Blues. I feel like there's so many beautiful inks on these pages that it would be hard for me to just like pick and choose for each single one, but here we are. Oh, this was when Ginger Peachy Pens did her hashtag Ink Rainbow of 2023. I feel like we need to do a 2024 version of this, everybody, before the year ends. But the inks that I had picked for my Ink Rainbow, which I still feel very strongly about a lot of these, for pink inks was Herbin Rouille d'Encre, which I think is not really my pink of choice now. I think I would probably go with a Birmingham Pen Company pink that I have. Red was Wearingeul Human Issue. I still stand by this, but there is a Kobe ink that I just showed in my last red video that I think may beat this one out. It just depends. For orange, I picked Robert Oster's Penchele's Sunburn. I still feel pretty strongly on this one. Platinum Citrus Black is hands down still my favorite yellow. Greens, I picked 2. So I had Sailor Shikiori's Tokiwa Matsu and then Monteverde Olivine. I don't know, I may have some new favorite greens. Teals, I did Robert Oster's River of Fire and Ferris Press Edwards Gardens. I still feel really strongly about those two. For blues, Pilot Roshizuku's 𝗂𝗃𝗍𝗏, which is discontinued. I still love this ink, but I'm not using any more of my sample unless I absolutely have to, because it's all I have left. And then Diatramenta's Sherlock Holmes is a really great blue-black that I like. Purple, I picked Diatramenta's Alexander Hamilton or Diamine Inkvent Solar Storm. I feel pretty close with both of these two, but I would also say probably Robert Oster's Sydney Lavender is really close in my Ink Rainbow now. Browns, I picked 2 again. Pilot Roshizuku Inaho discontinued. This is still one of my favorite inks of all time. And then Ferris Press Wonder Pen's Writing Desk. I like this one, but I like the Birmingham Pen Company's Extra Dimensional Umber so much more. And then blacks, I did Diamond Onyx Black. I'd probably pick Pilot Black now, or the Takesume by the Pilot 𝗏𝗏. And then grays, I did Three Oysters, I Color You Dulda. I still love this gray, but I don't know if I would still consider it probably in my rainbow. I don't know. There's so many good ones. Then I did my teal inks, which again, there are so many lovely ones on this page. I really love writing with teal ink, honestly. I would prefer teals over blues if I had to choose. Then I did my July currently inked, and this one's theme was winter in July. I think I was really feeling like dark wintry colors because it was so hot this month. And then I started my green ink explorations, which I know I had several of because green is one of my favorite colors to write with. Light green, Pilot Roshizuku's Chikurin, so good. I feel like I'm a Pilot Roshizuku like mega fan, and I think that's okay because their inks are really great. Like they're just, I never have any problems with any of them. Here's more of just green inks. Here's some olives. This is another group of inks that I just gravitate towards, even though everybody calls it like, you know, diarrhea green or baby poop green, whatever you want to call it. This is just a color family that I really enjoy writing with, I guess. And then this was the dark greens. So many beautiful ones. And then I think I did a gray green. Yeah, gray green, which I feel like this is like gray greens / greens that don't really fit in green but can be green. There's so many good ones here too. Waringall's Mad Hatter is probably one of my favorites. Okay, this is when I did the Sailor Shikiori collection on a full page, which again, I think this one has been added to as well. I don't know, I just love seeing all the collections like this on a couple of pages together. I think it's really nice. And then I did my August currently inked. This theme was Summer at the Bay. I agree with that theme name still. And then I did the Pilot Roshizuku collection, which I think this is one of my favorite videos I did, and I think it's pretty popular. I do plan on redoing this collection once the new inks come out. So like when I think it's Toro, that's like an orange, there's a brownish one coming out, which I'm really excited for, and then another blue, which is like, we already have so many blues. I would have thought they would have added a different color, like a red or something. And the fact that they're taking away Tsutsuji, which is a very popular dark pink ink, and Kosumosu, which is a beautiful standard pink, is pretty wild to me that they're taking both of those away. But it is what it is. I mean, there's so many beautiful inks still in this collection, and I think that even though they are discontinuing some favorites, that there's still enough out there that people can probably pick up one or sample or whatever if they want to try it out before they're gone for good. Then I did my September currently inked, which was themed after a Coffee Monsters Co. tape. I remember this because she made a Monet, like an Ode to Monet washi tape, and I love the Monet paintings. I loved the color palette of the water lilies, and so I tried to replicate that with this, and I just, I loved. Then we did brown ink explorations, which is probably the second color family that I write the most with, that I enjoy writing the most with. So this was like dark browns, and then we did regular browns, or no, light browns. Man, there's so many beautiful inks. And then we did regular browns, yeah. Man. And then I did the Sailor 𝗏𝘏𝗃 collection. I don't know if this is all of them now. I know they added Sailor Manyo inks. There's a few new ones there. And then I know there's a few new Shikiori inks that either just released or are about to release. But I don't remember if they added to the 𝗏𝘏𝗃 collection. I don't know. The Koyokuya is my favorite. And then Dategokoro and Yoi are another two of my favorites. Then we did my October ink exploration, currently inked, A Spooky Tea Party. This was such a fun ink collection. I had so much trouble with the Pilot Metropolitan I used for the Colorverse Switch by Starlight, which is a Goulet exclusive. And then after I like basically disassembled the pen, soaked it, cleaned the feed out really good with a toothbrush, and then reassembled it, re-inked it, this is what it actually wrote like, and I was so happy with it. It was gorgeous. It was so, so beautiful. Then we had the yellow ink exploration. Pilot Citrus Black, Heart of Gold by Robert Oster, Three Kings by Diamine, Delicious Mustard, Three Oysters, lots of lovely ochre yellows in here, and then some really bright ones that are just Ferris Press Buttered Popcorn is sadly discontinued as well, and it's a beautiful, nice golden yellow color. Then we had yellow oranges, regular oranges, Monteverde's Fire Opal, still a favorite, Tasha's Kawaii is a really good one, Dominant Industry Earl Grey Tea is a really good one, Yuyake is a really good one. I feel like orange is such an underrated color when it comes to writing. Red oranges and corals. Diamond Ancient Copper is very much a fan favorite amongst the community. I personally don't really care. I think that the Diamond Terracotta is really good, and then I recently got to try Dominant Industries Ginger Chicken, which I feel like is way better than Ancient Copper as well. And this was the bloody red inks that I did. I had so much fun making this video. And then we went into my November currently inked, which was A Night in the Forest. And I think I named it that because like every single ink involved either like forest or outside things. And then here's some more red inks. I just showed these in my latest ink swatching video. And I still love a lot of them, but I'm not a huge red ink person. Then we have dark pink inks. Some really good ones here. Colorverse Andromeda still remains a favorite for me. And then regular pink inks. So here's Kosumosu. I'd probably say the closest dupe on these pages is going to be Sailor Shikiori's Sakura Mori. It just doesn't have the sheen that Kosumosu has, and it's slightly darker. Then we had some light pinks and then rosy pinks. December, currently inked, It's a Wonderful Life. Oh, I remember this collection. I was really emotional because December is kind of a hard month for me. I lost my dad a few years ago in December, the day after Christmas. So I was really just struggling, I think, and I wanted to have a grayscale color palette, and I really loved how this turned out too. I think I had a lot of really good ones, and then the Robert Oster Heart of Gold just like popping through is just that little bright starry moment. I love that. And then we did some magenta inks. I feel like these are underrated as well. Like if you really like purple and pink, you definitely did check out the more magenta fuchsia side of things because it will just add to your love of the color. That's all I gotta say. But Roaring Cleaner Sulfurino, really nice one. Light purple inks. I love Ferris Press's Little Robinia, even though it's super light. It's probably one of my favorite light purple inks of all time, but it is a bit dry. Birmingham Pen Company Armadillo. This was like I think the first or one of the first Birmingham Pen Company inks that I was using that Priscilla had sent me. I was really enjoying the Birmingham Pen Companies. And here's regular purples. Monteverde's Birthday Cake is one of my favorites here. Roaring Cleaner's Cassia is another really good one. Pilot Roshizuku's Murasaki Shikibu. Diatramentus Purple Violet. There's a lot of good ones on these pages. And then we have dark purples, which are probably the inks that I like the most when it comes to the purple family, because I really like purple blacks, or like purples that are so dark they look black, but they're actually purple. I don't know. Yes, I have a whole page dedicated to purple blacks. That makes perfect sense for myself. Oh yeah, Birmingham Pen Company Byzantium. This was so beautiful. Oh yay, the Diamond Inkvent. Okay, so this is the green one. And I think I swatched this like right after. Yeah, okay, so I swatched out the whole green Inkvent because I had received the purple Inkvent, which was the 2023 version, and I wanted to compare them side by side. So this is the 2022 green Inkvent, with the big bottle being the best wishes. And then this was the 2023 purple Inkvent with the big bottle being 𝗂𝘂 Glass. And I love seeing the, I guess, difference in how their inks have become a lot more shimmerier. Like, shimmerier, is that a word? I don't know. They have more shimmer in them now, I feel like. So the 2022 one had a lot more, or what seemed to be a lot more just like standard inks. And then the 2023 one had a lot more like chameleon, different shimmery inks in them. And I also like to see the difference in like the swatching method here. Like this, I think I did the Kakimori Nib, and then this I did my little stamp block. And I love the way the stamp block showcases the ink properties so much better. Love, 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 love. Okay, this was the first batch of Birmingham Pen Company inks I ever got to try, courtesy of Priscilla, and I still love a lot of these. I have loved Eroded Bronze. This is really close to Waringel's Dorothy, but this is a little bit more of a chroma shade to it, and it's a bit lighter and a bit more teal. And then Twilight's beautiful, Armadillo's beautiful, Pennsylvania Fieldstone's beautiful. I have Butcher's Broom inked up for my September currently, or my September 30 inks, 30 days right now. Amber Adobe was a beautiful color, and I didn't get the shading that I wanted in the pen that I used. Arugula is beautiful. Like, all of these were really great, great choices. And then I think this is the start of the book where I stopped gluing pages together because I was just lazy. So I have a blank page on the back of each one of these pages versus in the front I was gluing the backs of the pages together so I could easily flip through them. But yeah, it's fine. And then this was my first Birmingham Pen Company order that I made for myself, and I still really love a lot of these. Weeping Willow, Antique Sepia, Oak Moss, Rotted Cork, and then I think Ceramic Kiln are the ones that I've used the most. Magnolia Mirage, I think, is my new favorite pink because it's got like purple and orange shading in it. Byzantium is a beautiful purple black. Celestial Blue is a nice like purpley toned blue. There's just so many beautiful colors that I have loved from Birmingham Pen Company so far. This was a ink swap with Lori. She sent me a lot of her beautiful sheening blues, and I love looking at this. The Lavender Cobalt Blue did stain one of my cartridges, just in case anyone was curious. It wasn't horrible, but it did stain the cartridge that I used. Pompadour Pink is a beautiful color, and it's really close to the Birmingham Pen Company Twilight, which I did confirm that the Allegheny Twilight is the same as the regular Twilight that's on their website. I emailed Nick and Josh, and they said it's the same. So they are the exact same ink. Hokusai by Tasha is gorgeous. I mean, Kawaii, like Hokusai Kawaii is beautiful too. Man, so many great inks. This is really fun for me to flip back through too. Oh, this was one of the Ferris press releases that I got as part of the Jubilee program. Love, 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 love. So the ink shimmer in these looks pink on screen, right? It's also gold. And the base colors of all three of these are super legible. All of them wrote very well. I was really happy with all three of these inks. They were so, so, so stunning. This is when I did the collection of the Pilot mixable ink cartridges. I think that's a really great cartridge set if you want to brave putting it in one of your Pilot pens. It's technically not meant for Pilot pens. It's meant for the parallel pens, which are like calligraphy writing pens. But I've never, and I mean never, had any issues with these inks in a regular Pilot pen. Granted, I don't leave my pens with ink in them for like longer than a month or two, so maybe that's why. If I wouldn't know what would happen if I put it in the pen and like left it for months and didn't use it. So I don't know. But I really like a lot of these cartridges. And then we began season 2 ink explorations. Oh, it's so much fun. It's so much fun for me to see like how my ink swatching has evolved, I guess. So this was the second round of black inks, which I know I included a lot more different brands for season 2 because I wanted to showcase I guess, similarities across so many different brands out there. And as you can see, a lot of these look black. They do have very, like, slightly variant differences though. And I think that's really, really cool. Man. And then let's see what we had next. Oh, this was an ink swap with Courtney. She sent me almost all of the Rohrer & Klingner's sketch inks. The only one I was missing was the black, which I believe is Lottie, which I did get later from another creator here in an ink swap, Jana. She sent me it, but I didn't go back in and add it. But it is a lovely waterproof black ink. These were so much fun, and I did get confirmation from Jana too that you can mix them all together, create colors that you want to make. I think these would be really great if you prefer waterproof inks or water resistant inks and you wanted something that's really reasonably priced. I think Rohrer & Klingner is very reasonably priced versus the 𝗬𝗛𝗏 document inks are also reasonably priced, but there's more of those. So like, I don't know. It really come down to brand and like availability, but I feel like I personally would either pick, like if I wanted to mix my own colors, I'd probably pick the Rohrer & Klingner sketch inks, but if I wanted a specific color that was already like pre-done, I'd probably pick the 𝗬𝗛𝗏. This was the second season of Gray fountain pen inks, and man, it still amazes me to see the difference in shades and colors that are all within the same family. It's always fun for me to look back on these. Man, this color versus Alpha Andromeda is just, or Alpha And, I guess, is just screaming at me. This was the Blue Blacks season 2. I feel like I had a lot more experience with Blue Blacks this year than I did when I did my original Blue Black video. I love the J. Herbin Bleu de Profondeurs is probably my favorite Blue Black now. I don't know. Sherlock Holmes 𝗬𝗛𝗏 is still really good though because it has that minor red sheen. And Faber-Castell's Midnight Blue is really good too. And Kaweco's Midnight Blue is really good. And the Kobe 51 Kanoto Midnight is just wild because it's got those dual sheening things going on. Man. Oh, okay. I remember this was so much fun. Okay, so 𝗤𝗏 sent me all of the samples of kiwi inks that she had, and I had never heard of this brand before, and I was just amazed. Like, look at the 𝗦𝘂𝗽𝗏 up here. It's just, whoa, it's so crazy. And these inks are customizable, if I remember correctly. Absolutely so much fun for these inks. The Mermaid Black, I think, is really, really pretty because it's just like shimmery black. I don't know. There's so many beautiful ones. Oh, and then we did Purple Season 2 ink explorations, and oh my gosh. I just love looking at all of these colors together. And then we did greens. And y'all voted, or most of you voted, on which colors y'all wanted to see next based on my community page. I do want to mention that the Birmingham Pen Company's Emerald Fusion seems to have stuck to the other side of the page and some of the sheen pulled off. It could just be because it's a big pile of ink, but I've never experienced that before, so I wonder what happened there. Papery Plumes Moss Green, though, still a favorite. Jumping out on the page for me. Then we did teal inks. Oh, man. I love that I did like lighters and then darkers. So beautiful. Chicken in the Sky with Diamonds, Dominant Industry. If you have not been able to pick this up from Wonder Pens, run and see if they still have it in stock because the shading of teal to gray is just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Then we did oranges. Love the oranges. I'm feeling this very strongly right now because it's starting to turn fall here in Texas and like the leaves are starting to fall on our property and stuff, and it's beautiful. Terracotta Canyon by Ferris Press was a release this year too, and it was really nice because it's like this washed out orange, like dusty orange that shades to gray on the Tomoe paper. It's really, really pretty. Then we did yellows. Still love the more ochre-y ones for myself, but I do think the brighter yellows like Rar and Klinger's Helianthus is really nice, and then Dominant Industries Citrus Yellow is really nice. The citrus yellow does have a really strong sheen though. Just keep that in mind if you wanted to go for that. But I love seeing all the yellows. They're like little suns all over the page. And this is like the last ink exploration I did in this book, and then I started my 30 inks, 30 days that I did in July. So these were really fun to do full pages. I think I was transcribing The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But I was really enjoying doing a full page of writing, this is what I like to do for my, I guess, ink testing. Like if I'm testing out a new ink and I want to see if I really like it or not, I will try to do various forms of swatching with it, whether it be the paintbrush swatch, a full page using a pen, or I'll use like a calligraphy pen, which is what I'm doing right now with my September 30 inks 30 days, because I just find it's nice to see how the ink would behave using it the different mediums that I would use it. Diamine Dusted Truffle, still a favorite. Oh, this one too, Kobe's number 63. I think it's 𝗂𝗃𝗃𝗏 𝗃𝗑𝗃. Yeah, this is a lovely like black brown color. This was Sailor Ink Studios 123. Man, a lot of these were really, really fun. Oh, this was a Birmingham Pen Company mix that I did. I really liked the beginning, and then I don't really like how it kind of started fading out, but I think that was the pen, not necessarily the ink. Moonlight Jade by Ferris Press. Wizard's Pencil. Thief's Red. Ooh, this one was really pretty too. Van Diemen's Cure Kitty Kitty. I was really worried it was going to be too light, but it turned out to be okay for me, actually. I do regret not doing it on the back side of the pages here, but I think on the old Tomoe River paper, it's just not feasible because of the bleed through when I was doing the swatches, versus on the new Sanzen paper, I hardly get any bleed through with my swatching, which is very interesting to me. This was the Noodler's Southwest Sunset, and I had so many problems with this. It literally just bled onto the other page. It like Noodler's, I think I'm done with Noodlers. It even bled through the back of the page in writing. Like, yeah, I think I'm done with Noodlers for sure. I'll use up what I have, but I don't think I'm going to be purchasing any more Noodlers. This was the Pilot Suzuku's Konpeki. Sailor Shigure. Rose Quartz. Another really nice pink. It's a little dry for me, but it's pretty. Walk the Dog by Colorverse is a lovely kind of grassy green. Ackerman's Roosedale Storming Blue. This is a nice one too. The Ink of the Year by Pelican, Golden Lapis. This is really pretty. It's exactly the same base color as Konpeki to me. It just has this kind of like green yellow shimmer with a stronger red sheen. Diamine's Little Maddie is a really nice gray. And that is it. Dang. So many fun memories in this little book of ink swatches. Well, it is time to retire this ink swatch book. I'm going to leave it on my shelf and keep it for as long as it lasts. I've already started a new one. If you haven't been watching my videos, I have this one right here, which is a sterling ink, and I have really been enjoying kind of playing around with the new Sanzen paper in this one as well. I do find that the Sanzen paper behaves much differently than the original Tomoe River paper, so if you haven't tried the Sanzen paper yet, I would try to get a small notebook and sample it out and see how you feel, because it does behave different with fountain pen inks. Anyways, that is all for this flip through of my 2023 to 2024 ink journal. If you have any questions about the journal itself or any of the inks inside of it, please leave it down in the comments. I love chatting about inks. They're so much fun, and I've had a lot of fun in this book over the past year. Anyways, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.